Hey y'all, welcome in. Welcome in if you're new or just passing through to my channel. Welcome. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie, and if you're returning, welcome back, squad. I am here today to do another general collective reading. We're not sign specific here, we're also gender fluid. I may say you and I'm talking to them. I may say them and I'm talking to you. Put yourself in the story wherever you seem to fit. Remember that time and energy are fluid. I could be talking about the recent past, the present, or the future. Take only the parts that resonate, leave everything else behind. If you would like to book a personal more aligned with your own story, all of my information can be found below in the description box. My books are always open, and I invite you to join me for a session. As you enter, if you could please give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm. Y'all are really doing your thing. Let me tell you about these numbers. And we are going to do another giveaway. This time, I'm probably going to select two winners, two or three winners, since we surpassed the 10,000, my original 10,000 goal. Thank you guys so much for getting me over that little hump. I never expected to get to 10,000 so early in the year. So at recording time right now, I am at 10,928 subscribers. For those of you who are new here, every 500 new subscribers, I do a giveaway of a free live session with me, as my way of saying thank you and giving back to the community that's so much supporting my work. I appreciate it. Okay, so at the end of this video, so stick around to the end. At the end of the video, I'll think of it's usually the hashtag road to something something, but I'm pretty sure I'll come up with something else between now and the end of the video. But I think I'm gonna do like maybe two or three winners, and I'll just kind of spread out the readings around my existing clients that are my books. So we'll see where it goes. All right, let's jump in and see what Spirit wants to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for, because I noticed my membership numbers are also going up. I apologize. Like I said, I'm hoping after Mars Stations Direct that my schedule kind of calms down a little bit, where I have more time to dedicate to recording. I just have not had the time. This week has, not even gonna say this week, since Mars went retrograde on January the 6th, life has been very, very chaotic for me. So I've been trying to like manage, and anytime planets go retrograde, it's an opportunity. It's the energy that allows you to slow down and kind of technically should be slowing down, right? But Mars, we're talking Mars, I don't know if Mars knows how to slow down. And I think Mars is in its fall in Cancer. So, and Cancer is the natural fourth house of like your home and your roots. So, child, my home life has been crazy. Just a lot of busy. And it's not even me. It's just busy because I'm tending to my kids and running around after them and playing taxi driver. So, it's been a lot. All right, let's jump in, see what Spirit wants to talk about. All of a sudden, I'm extremely warm. Hold on. Having a personal summer. It's a little warm outside, though. All right, let's jump in. Current energy. Oh, wow. Interesting. This is a new energy. Okay. Wow. All right. So, I don't know who this is for. I don't know the angle, but regeneration is in the upright. So we know that regeneration is talking about second chances, do-overs, reconciliations. Reconciliation does not always mean reunion, so it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna, like, if you're estranged from somebody, it doesn't mean that you're gonna come back together and everything's gonna be like, easy peasy, stick like glue, and we're back to, we're back in good. Nah. Reconciliation is really just kind of having a come to Jesus moment. We're going to sit down. We're going to look at the trash on both sides of the street. We're going to look at my trash. We're going to look at your trash. And, there's going to be some acknowledgement here. But acknowledging what's happened does not mean re-engagement. It doesn't mean that you're going to fall back into, old patterns and old habits. It doesn't mean that you're going to get back into connection with people. It just kind of means, you know what, this is where we are. This is what happened. Don't know if I can do this again. Don't know if I'm interested in doing it again. I mean, y'all could shake, fist bump, walk away and be fine. Okay. But I do have the energy here, and I'm saying I'm speaking on it first because it's in the center, and on either side I have chop wood and loyal heart. So this energy feels like to me, if the energy is present for some kind of reconciliation or a second chance, especially if you're already, at a distance from somebody, if you're estranged from them, there is some work that is required. And if somebody genuinely feels a sense of loyalty to you and they want to be a part of your life, this chop wood for me says they're going to have to show you. Okay. Now, the subsequent cards are To Be Fair and Yang. Come to the Edge in the reverse. So Come to the Edge for me is very similar to the energy. It's very similar to like the Fool. But it comes with an essence of like fear. Like Come to the Edge talks to me about fear, fear of giving one's heart, fear of vulnerability and all that, right? So this feels like to me, kind of like somebody moving past their fears, getting over themselves, and knowing that in order to balance the scales within the relationship dynamic between you, that they're going to they're going to have to take some action to make it happen. Especially if they, if they are still maintaining some sense of loyalty to you, or if they're expecting some sense of loyalty out of you, they're going to have to work for it. All right. What is the dilemma or blockage? Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, last couple of readings, we talked about how, God makes that call to everybody. Some folks pick up, some folks do not. I'm not saying that this person hasn't received the call. I do believe whoever we're talking about today, they've received the call. But what the call that they've received, or the message that they've received, is going to require them to do something that maybe they haven't done in the past. And that requires a level of honesty, some kind of disclosure. If this person has been wearing a mask, I think I know who I want to send this to. If this person has been wearing a mask, it's now necessary for them to have to remove this mask and come clean. Tell their business. Tell how they feel, right? And it's almost like God is telling this person, listen, if you want to be happy and you want to have, a new cycle, this new life with the collective, I'm going to need you, number one, I need you to see something here. Your honesty, the level of transparency and honesty has got to be there, because the collective, we don't want nothing other than honesty and transparency. If you come in here with anything other than honesty and transparency, we don't want it. You will be rejected, period. But what God is kind of, and I'm saying this because the fates are here, and it's almost like God's trying to give this person, because message in a bottle is in the upright. Remember, when it's in the upright, this message in a bottle, it's coming from source unknown. They don't know who this is coming from. This is being divinely orchestrated as well. Okay. So it's kind of like God is saying, if you just, because it's all connected, if you just take that mask off and you speak your piece and you say what you got to say. Get whatever this is on your heart, get it off your heart, whatever you've been hiding, whatever you've been holding on to. If you let it out, everything will start to fall into place, but you have to let it out. And they're maybe they're still struggling maybe to speak that truth, okay? Because this is part of their dilemma and blockage. God is telling this person, if you do this one thing, I don't know what the hell that is outside, but it's really loud. It's like, if you do this one thing, I promise you everything will start to line up in your life. Okay. What's the lesson? Wow. Now it's interesting because I just got another message here. So part of their lesson, it is requiring them to take a leap of faith, to take some action. Time for a nap is in the reverse. Okay, so they've napped long enough. God's been trying to get this person's attention. And it feels like if they just take part of this whole lesson for this person, whoever I'm talking about, is if they take action, it will, like I heard, settle their heart. So maybe this person, because I'm getting the impression here that this person may be dealing with like anxiety, maybe even, depression or something like that. Like they're dealing with some like really unsettled energy, because I think this person's been on the fence. I feel like they're getting this, they're picking up the urges or the sensation that they gotta do this. They gotta get this off their chest. They gotta have this conversation. They gotta come towards you. They know. I feel like this person has I don't even have the deep knowing card out here, but I feel like, just based on what I see, like this person has a very deep understanding of what needs to happen. But I think it's like whether or not, and here's the secondary message that I got. It's like whether or not y'all end up, like I said in the beginning, like, reconciliation does not mean reunion or, realigning so that y'all can kumbaya and run off into the sunset. Not necessarily. But before this, it's kind of like this person needs to understand, like, even if y'all choose, whatever, before they can even go on with their lives, they got to settle this one thing. They got to settle this one thing if they want to restore the peace in their heart. So maybe this person did you dirty, and it's always been kind of sitting in the back of their head all this time. However much time has passed, it's been sitting in the back of their head that they need to kind of, clear the air or whatever. And part of their lesson here has been, if they want to restore the peace in their life, especially if they're trying to embark on a new life, is like this person could literally be going through like, in the middle of like their own healing. We're all on a healing journey. Okay. So like, let's keep it a buck. But it's kind of like, in order for this person, with every pinpoint of your transformation, we go through all these different phases of our healing. And for this person, they're attempting to try to restore some balance and peace in their life, but they understand. I do feel like this person, because they're being guided, somebody understands that in order, whether you end up together cool or not, that they gotta do this one thing. They got to do this one thing. And that, so here's the thing, because I think I've talked about this before. This person wasted a lot of time. They wasted a lot of time, and they kind of left things like undone, unfinished. What's the word that I just heard? I mean, this card is unfinished symphony, so that kind of gives me like closure issues, This person may have wasted a lot of time Thank you, Spirit. And I think part of the other part of the lesson has also been, I think I talked about this maybe last month, because it's been fairly recent, where I talk about a person who and it's in the same position, because this was part of their lesson in that reading too. It's like whoever I'm talking about has like very rigid expectations of the way that they believe certain relationships should be carried out. Again, I think given strong fixed sign energy. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. This person has a very fixed perspective of the way that certain relationships, hell, even your relationship with them, should be carried out, right? And part of the lesson for them has really had to learn how to be flexible, because I think the energy, girl, ain't nobody talking to you. It's kind of, she over there talking to herself. Ain't nobody talking to her. I don't even know if you heard that. We don't actually use her name. We call her Barbie, because if we don't, she'll start talking and we're like, nobody's talking to you. Anyway, part of the biggest lesson here was, I think for them, this person, like I said, they had a very rigid expectation of how relationships supposed to play out, the role that you play in the relationship, the role that they play in the relationship, and what it's giving me is like they believe that your role in the relationship is to do what they want you to do. And that's not how this works. Oh yeah. They're realizing, they definitely are realizing that one, you're not putting any more effort into this connection. Whatever this connection is or was, you're not doing anything. So if they want to restore the balance in the relationship, they would have to put the effort in. And this person now is starting to see, I think they're realizing, okay, well, the collective is not really dealing with me anymore. And maybe this person has had some time to really reflect on the way they've shown up in the relationship, however that is, okay? Wow. Wow. So, again, if they want to be happy, if they want to restore the peace and balance back into their life and they want to be happy, they got to come clean. And they've been straddling the fence here. Again, it's the same energy. They've been straddling the fence because I do feel like if you're on a healing journey, when you're going through this, you do come out on the other side with a whole different kind of life, and it's because you're a whole different kind of person. You're different. And I genuinely feel like this person, they want to be happy. And God is trying to show them, look, if you just do this one thing, and I have it in a couple of places where God's hand is in it, like I just need you to see this one thing. I just need you to see this one thing. And if you're going to do it, you got to be all in. You got to be all in. The collective was all in. Again, I don't know the nature of this relationship, and I'm not specifically speaking that it's romantic. I do have the soulmate card out here, but soulmates are not always romantic, okay? And we don't just have one soulmate. I also feel like part of their lesson here was for them to lean into their relationship or connection with God, with their higher source or higher power. I think this person has been so focused on so many other things that they may have lost sight that, God's at the center of everything. God and love are the center of everything. Okay. And I think this person may have lost sight of that one thing. And so now what they are trying to, I get the impression that they're trying to maybe manifest some type of reconciliation or some type of coming back together. But whether or not it happens and whether or not it happens the way that they want it to happen, they've got to really be open. You know, they've got to really be open because things are changing. And and here's the thing, what they are I do feel like there's a little bit of a disturbance because maybe in the past you've always been very generous with your time and energy. And now because you're not giving anything, they're like, wait, not realizing that the time and energy that you were giving them was actually beneficial to them, and they may not have noticed it or even acknowledged it at the time. They're having a really hard time with going with the flow. And I think too it's because they weren't ready. They weren't really ready at the time, maybe to give you what you wanted or to be what you needed. So they may have, yes, they may have kind of, I heard the word encased, but that sounds really crazy, the context. It's almost like they just kind of jumped in with a really funky crew, a bunch of people, or I mean, this could be friend group. I mean, this could be somebody here who had multiple options, but it's kind of like they were afraid to give you what you wanted. They weren't ready. We'll just say it that way. They weren't ready to give you what you wanted. And again, because they have a difficult time going with the flow, the idea and the energy of being flexible for them is kind of foreign. This is new. So for them, if they could, like, God's kind of saying, like, I could literally give you what you want, but I just need you to do this one thing, which is just relax and go with the flow and just allow me to do my thing, right? And this person has been struggling with that because they weren't necessarily, like I said, they weren't necessarily ready or prepared to give you what you needed. So they may have, again, surrounded themselves with people like, yes people. And maybe you ain't a yes person. You know what I'm saying? And then they're kind of thinking about, yeah, they ended up with a bunch of people or being surrounding themselves with people who like really were not for them or like them. And they're just now starting to recognize that. Okay. All right, let's clarify. Yes. So this person may have had a tendency, and this is because the cycle card came out first. This person had a tendency to keep you in a loop, and I feel like what they were doing was they were trying to be very difficult because the simplicity is in the reverse. So this tells me that it's almost like they went out of their way to keep you in a cycle and to just make things way more complicated than they needed to be. They wouldn't have been so complicated if they had just been reciprocal with their energy, if they had just given you the same energy that you had given them. It wouldn't be so damn complicated. But whoever this is that we're talking about, this relationship has always been very complicated. It's always been, I heard it's been one-sided. You could either be dealing with a fire sign or maybe the relationship has been complicated because of physical attraction. Oh, wow. Okay. I said God's trying to show this person like, hey, if you just do this one thing, if you just reveal yourself, if you take this mask, obfuscate is in the reverse. So now this is like seeing, like clearly being able to see that in order for them to change the dynamic of this relationship, to transform it, they would have to be honest. They would have to speak the truth. They would have to show themselves. And if this is being received in a way that they're recognizing that there's no actual change in the dynamic with you, they very well could have run out of time. You can put yourself in the story wherever you are. And like I said, reconciliation doesn't necessarily mean reunion. I do feel like here, part of, like, if this is the reason why the soulmate card is here in the reverse, it's because they took too long or they wasted too much time. And it also could have come with a sense of impatience too. Impatience and being flexible. Like they're waiting for something to happen, but because they're so impatient and they have this expectation of it happening just like this right now, part of their lesson is like, hey, pump your brakes, man, because this ain't about you. You got some work you need to do, but this whole thing ain't about you. The collective does have some say in this, and you can't just dictate how the collective responds. Lesson. Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm getting another download here. So we have failure in the reverse, release in the upright, with death in the reverse. So, like I said, you may have already released this energy. They don't want things to end, but you've successfully released whatever that, ooh, I heard the word leash. So whatever leash this person had, whether around your neck or around your heart, child, you've successfully released the energy that kept you bound to them. Remember, I said over here, you've been dealing with a cycle, and it's been very, very complicated. Very, very complicated. For some, sex complicated it even further. Okay. Let's keep it a buck about that too. I feel like they very well may have run out of time because they were expecting, you know, I think in other readings I talked about, it was like, you know, somebody here wanted the collective to come back. They were expecting the collective to come chasing after them, and the collective didn't do that. And then that kind of changed the dynamic for them, because they were like, oh shit, now what? Because they never expected you to not come chasing after them. They didn't expect for you to just go on about your life and not look back. They didn't expect that. All right, let's put these back. Yeah, see, so, okay, because this feels, for me, this feels like the collective. Yeah, they know they got to come and take action. They got to take action. Here's the thing. They may have already lost the opportunity. I said they were waiting. Didn't I say? I said they were waiting for the collective. They had been waiting for you. They were waiting for you to come back. And instead, you were like, you know what? I'm going to take my little cups and I'm just going to go, because I'm holding on to these cups. There ain't nothing in them. This person, because they didn't come in. Oh, wow. So this person may have actually thought about it. Like they thought about it. They thought about it a lot. But it feels like I feel like they just didn't take the appropriate action timely. That's what it is. They didn't take timely action in order to repair the damage that had already been done. I think for a long time, collective, you held on to this situation even when, like I said, it was complicated. It could have, it was a cycle that you've been in, and it was a complicated cycle. And I kind of feel like even though you may not have known the truth of what was really going on at the time when you were like knee deep in it, I think the realization that the longer you stayed, the more hurt you were. Holding on to this relationship only really hurt you. And I feel like once you made that realization, it's kind of like it's like a twofold thing. Because I feel like for you, once you realized that you were holding on to this thing and it was just causing you more damage and causing you to feel more pain, you decided, you know what? I'm just going to go. And when they recognized that you were no longer around, then they realized, oh shit. So I kind of feel like this person also turned to other people to try to help them pick up the pieces for them. I hope that makes sense. Because the way that I'm seeing it's kind of like you walk away, you make a decision to walk away, dead the relationship. I think you walked away and you didn't even look back. You're like, you know what? I want to try to create some kind of positive change in my life because it's time. I don't need to do this anymore, right? Because I spent a good portion of time being sad and upset about, how things transpired. It didn't go nothing like what I thought it was going to go. So you know what? I'm going to exit stage left. I'm not even going to bat an eyelash. I'm just going to be out, right? And by doing that, if one, I feel like you take some of your power back so that you don't have an expectation of this person coming in. I think after a time you decided, you know what, if you ain't going to do right, you're just not going to do right. So I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm just going to go. I think this person waited for you to come back. And I feel like they may have been really sad. They may have been really sad that they didn't take the action that they needed to. Child, somebody don't me talk. And so it kind of feels like maybe they turned their attention to other people. Okay, that's the part I was talking about. They turned their attention to other people to help them put the pieces back together for them. Right? But even with those other people, they still felt and feel very much on the outside. Like, yes, they have other people to entertain them and to keep them company or whatever. But those people ain't you. Those people aren't you. And they're kind of like kicking themselves because I feel like I think that you invested a lot of time and energy into this person, a long amount of time, long periods of time. I want to say like there could have been a level of, there could have been some codependency, both ways. There could have been a little codependency. But again, like I said, I think that's whatever that was that kind of kept you in that loop, I just heard the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So there's that. And I think I did post it in the community board. So like, I had a download yesterday about, I'm trying to think about, let me see if I find it. Yeah, I had a download yesterday. It said, folks should be embarrassed by the way they've mistreated the people that God sent to help them heal. I do feel like this person's kind of kicking themselves a little bit. Yeah, they're kind of kicking themselves right now. I kind of also feel like this person feels like they've been abandoned by God. It's kind of like because you took all of your energy back and you decided to go elsewhere. I do feel like this person, they lost an opportunity with you. So this person may also feel a sense of, I think too, what I'm getting here. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I also feel like for you, I feel like because this person, you recognize this person wasn't actually, putting in the same amount of effort that you were putting in. This kind of feels like you start to realize, again, the longer you stay here, the more hurt you become. You start to realize that you can't actually stabilize this relationship. You can't stabilize it if you're if you're the one doing all of the work. Okay. You're putting in all of the effort and all of the time. You're doing all of the doing. This feels like you're, the awareness of, if I want change in my life, I have to create that change. What do I need to do differently in this situation? I have to stop giving to it. I have to stop feeding it. And because of that decision, now this person feels as though, potentially that they've been abandoned by God. And I feel like this person is, I feel like they're looking to you. It's an interesting energy. Because I don't get the impression that this is somebody who's like really, I think maybe it's taken some time for them to really self-reflect over how this relationship and other relationships have played out. But again, if they want some kind of reconciliation, they got to put in the same amount of work. They got to put the work in. They got to show up. Wow. So I do have somebody here who is really sad, and I think they think, oh, wow. Okay. So what this energy feels like, I think this person is really, and I will say, I'm going to start off with, they're very sad. I do have somebody out here who's really sad. But the energy that I'm getting off of this, if you're on social media, because I do get the impression that somebody's like watching, they're looking into you, trying to see what you're doing. They're worried that, like, say at one point, this person lived in your head rent free. Like, you thought about them all the time, and not in a bad way. Like, because you genuinely have feelings for this person. Like, it's a soulmate. So there is some level of love here. Okay. Again, soulmates are not always romantic, but there is some level of love. You had love for this person. Okay. This person's really sad now because they feel like, number one, you may have them blocked, so they may not have the ability to converse with you. If at some point you had some kind of, and I don't really talk about this very often, although it has come up and I just kind of glazed past it. But if you had some kind of telepathic connection to this person, what this looks like is you withdrew your antenna. So this person can no longer, they can't even sense you in that kind of space. I hope this resonates. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. So now they don't even know. It's like they want, like, even if they wanted to approach you, because here's the thing, you moved on. Collective, you moved on. They're kind of watching you. They're watching you move on. Okay. They're upset that, again, you may have them blocked. You may not be able to communicate. They may not have means to communicate with you. You may have changed your number. You may have them blocked. You may have this person blocked, not just on your phone, but also on social media. They're really worried that you've moved on with someone else. I know exactly who I want to send this to. They're worried that you may have moved on to someone else. Someone who is more in alignment with who you are. And I get the sense that this person really genuinely doesn't know how to approach. They would like you to let your guard down. They would like you to let your guard down. Yeah, they're worried about whether or not you have found another suitor, or, like, again, I don't know what kind of relationship this is, but it's this section here in the center definitely gives me the sense that somebody is worried that you may be entertaining someone else or allowing someone else to entertain you. Yes. Yes. It's like, yeah. Shit. Yeah. They're worried that you may be, in a new connection, a new connection that you may be keeping secret or quiet, keeping it really quiet. I do also feel like this person may be they may attempt, which is really, and this is not the way they're supposed to be going at it, because judgment is out here. I don't like this card here, because this feels very much like if they want you to lower your guards down, if they want you to let your guards down or whatever, this energy almost feels like the method that they would go about doing it, it feels very manipulative. I don't really trust it. I don't necessarily trust this energy, not right here. Because I can see where here they're watching to kind of see what you're doing. They're watching you however they think they can watch you. You know what? Let me tell you this. Because I realized this maybe a year ago. I went on a blocking spree. I always do every year. Not like a new year, new me kind of thing, but I go on a blocking spree where, where people that are no longer, resonant with me, I just start cutting folks off indiscriminately. Hey, it is what it is, right? But I block people on socials. I do that mostly so that they don't show up, so that I don't show up somewhere else, friends that they recommend. Like, I don't want to show up like that, because then I've already removed you, and I don't even want to go through all that. So I just block you and you can't find me, and that's fine, right? Wasn't until I realized that if you go on the browser, or if you look on the browser, you can still see everything. So if folks are looking at my stuff through the browser, they could literally see everything that I'm talking about, all the shit I'm talking about, everybody. I don't care. I honestly don't care. But this energy feels like they may be using other means to try to see what you're doing. They're using other means to see what you're doing. So they may even have other people spying on you. They may have other people trying to see what you're doing, or to try to influence your decision, or to influence, how you interact with them. But this, and just right here, these 4 cards kind of feel to me like somebody. Now, even if, okay, I could look at this a different way. So even if if this is them instead trying to, instead of it being about you moving on, and this is them coming in with the truth, it's like them coming in with the truth, but still there is a manipulative energy here, okay? Because there is still something that they are keeping from you. That's the problem that I have. This is the sun. Oh, there is something still that they've been keeping from you. So maybe this is them wanting you to let your guard down just enough so that they can illuminate some things that you don't know about. I just don't like the fact that this magician here. Maybe this is more about okay, so they may want you to let your guard down, right? They want you got, your boundaries are pretty firm. This may be the fact that they don't feel confident enough, or they don't believe that they have what it takes to kind of initiate a new cycle with you. Like we're closing out the chapter, because with this reconciliation energy, it's truly about closing the chapter. Okay. So when I say, reconciliation doesn't always mean reunion, well, okay, in this instance, if this person actually wanted some kind of reconciliation / reunion, there's some things that they would have to absolutely come clean about. But I feel like this person may feel a little less than confident in their ability to get you to open up to them in the way that you were once open to them. It would be like, the way I heard it was a relationship on your terms. Your terms. Because remember, I said part of their lesson here is they have an issue with, being inflexible and being very, rooted in the way they want things done. So maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is the fear of, their ability to go into this new cycle with you. I see a couple of things here. And again, it doesn't say for everybody, but this definitely gives me the sense that there's something here they're not saying. Maybe they do have an issue with travel. This person may not be able to travel to you, even if they wanted to. Okay, let's keep going. Okay. So maybe this person, the words I heard was burning sensation, not like in the loins area, burning sensation. But maybe I don't see anything out here talking about like, diseases or anything, but I get the impression that this person really, they're very attracted to you. They have a lot of passion for you. They may have even been like purposely holding themselves back. And I want to say it was largely due to maybe some outdated beliefs. So they may have put you in. Now, I don't have energy out here that talks about like third party energy, but I'm just telling you based on the imagery and the cards that I have here, it's almost like okay. The way that I'm receiving this energy, it feels like this is somebody who has purposely sabotaged the relationship between you. What it did was, it's like they sabotaged in a way where It's like they wouldn't, I wish I could communicate this better because I can see it's like they wouldn't let you leave. Take that how it resonates. It's like they, remember I said they had you in a cycle, right? A complicated cycle. This feels like, regardless of the fact that they had passion for you, like I do feel like this person very attracted to you, you have a lot of passion for you, right? But again, they're working with an antiquated set of beliefs, and it's almost like this person felt like, if I keep you from moving on, then I've ultimately won. Like, I just have you pining away from me, and I'm always going to breadcrumb you. I don't have that, but that's what it feels like. It's like, I don't want you to go. It's like, not like I don't want you, but I don't want nobody else to have you kind of thing. Like, I have so many toys. And I actually like you the best. I like that toy. You're that toy. I like that toy the best. But I got all these other toys over here. But every now and then I'm going to come and play with this toy just to make it look like I've got interest in it. But I'm really going to be spending more time hanging out with these toys over here. And they soon realized that part of their, like, literally, if they want something to change between you, they actually have to come in and do something about it. Because if they're waiting for you to come, you ain't never gonna come. Especially if, like I said, they may be dealing with a limited set of time. Like, TikTok is in the reverse. Like, yo, you running out of time. And now they're kind of panicked because, shit, I don't necessarily want this to end with the collective. I went about it the wrong way. Because I didn't have the confidence to think I could pull it off. But now that they're facing a dynamic where, this shit could be permanently over, they got to come in and do something about it. They got to tell the truth. I love this deck. They got to tell the truth. If they want change, they have to initiate it. They have to initiate it. They're also having a really hard time letting go of something from the past, whether that's between you and them or just them, period, like dealing with their own past shit. There's something here from the past, and it almost feels like it's like a sense of failure, but I don't know, it's like the way that I'm receiving it's like a failure that they can't recover from. They are really, and it could be very well linked to relationship dynamics, but again, it's something that's tied to an antiquated set of beliefs. Well, I did say the soulmate card was in the reverse. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the analogy about the toys. Collective, you're the shiny toy that they really, because the way that I'm seeing it, it's kind of like they got you like in a little case, like you're off to the side. You're the toy that they don't really play with because they don't want to physically break it. They don't want any pieces to fall off. They don't want to lose anything. But I feel like in the past, they foolishly partnered with somebody who they partner with somebody. This is crazy. They partner with somebody who that relationship did not go well. It didn't go well because this person, the person that they paired themselves with, we were dealing with two people here that really had no business partnering together. Um, Largely, a lot of it was ego. I feel like somebody went after this. I heard conquest. Whoever this person got involved with may have passed themselves off as being someone like you, but they soon discovered, and I feel like this is it was kind of an immature move. Like they went in eyes wide open thinking that this person would end up being loyal to them and all that, but I feel like it just caused a lot of heavy emotions, loss. Who that? Oh. Heavy emotions, some loss, and some endings. Um, and so I think that this person is starting to like have some realization about their actions, and then also recognizing how unfair they were to you while being connected to you. Maybe it's kind of like they're realizing, because what I'm seeing on this side, it almost feels like the way that they did you, the person that they chose, did the same thing to them. So what came around went around, and now they're starting to recognize, like, they allowed their ego to get in the way, so they treated you unfairly. The person that they ended up with proved to be a miserable wench. And I don't feel like they got anything out of that relationship that they were expecting. Like, I do get the sense that the relationship, I feel like they kind of want to, and I'm also receiving this in another way too, because I'm seeing a couple different things here. This also feels like if they were to come in here and tell you the truth about whatever they've been doing, however they feel, however they've been feeling, how they've always felt, I do kind of want to say it's too late. It's too late. I also get the impression too that if you're on this healing journey, I mean, you're watching tarot, so you're on a healing journey. You two are on two different, not necessarily two different timelines, but you're in two different areas of your journey, right? Like, you're further ahead because you started a while back, and now you're you're further ahead than they are. So even if this person is just now getting to this healing portion of their journey, and they're just now having these revelations, and they're going through all these, these things, they're way behind you. So this person, while, they could be, preparing themselves to elevate to emperor status, they're still not much of an emperor. This is the Fool. So I kind of feel like, even though, yes, they very well could take this leap of faith to come towards you to try to, initiate this relationship, or to try to like reconcile and kumbaya or whatever. Honestly, I don't think there's anything there, or at least what was there before does not exist now. And it's largely this is the element of karma that they gotta experience. Losing you, I've said this before, losing you was their karma. If somebody was purposely playing games with you, and you were just in the relationship to be a part of the relationship, but the whole time this person's been manipulating you and playing games and all this other shit, them losing you for good, that is their karma. Yes, they could experience the same kind of relationship that they had with you with another. They could totally do that, and the other person dogs them out and all that shit. Yes. But their true karma is They don't get a second chance with you. They don't get that. Yeah. You're grounded. Oh, yes. See, here's the thing. I think your boundaries are very firm. I think you're only interested in something that's going to be truthful, honest, transparent, right? But you're not going to put in any more emotional labor into balancing out another person. Yes, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing, child, you ain't doing that no more. You're not doing that anymore. Cuz this feels like I said in the past, you did the emotional labor in the relationship. And I feel like you were constantly pouring into this person. You are constantly pouring your cup and pouring your cup into their cup, pouring with the contents of your cup into their cup. You were constantly giving them knowledge, giving them, giving them love. This person never gave you shit. They never gave you anything. Yeah. All right. Emotional wounds are still open, and past pain continues to influence the present. More time and effort are needed for true healing. Passion is fading, possibly due to daily stress or emotional exhaustion, causing a loss of intensity. So, like I said, you don't necessarily feel the same way that you may have felt for them in the past. So, even if they were to come to you, on bended knees, with all this passion, I don't think it's going to make really much of a difference. Over sacrificing may lead to a loss of self. It's time to reevaluate the boundaries of your relationships. Disagreements and misunderstandings in teamwork are slowing the progress. It's time to realign strategies and expectations. So this person really needs to think about what the expectation is here for you in this situation, because I personally don't see this thing working out in the way that they expected to. Okay. I don't know if I don't have time to do an extended today. We're going to get back to that next week. Let's do a Chinese 5 elements oracle so I can go pick up my kids from school. Oop. Waterbird, speak your truth. The Waterbird pillar guides us to be truthful in our communication. When you speak your truth, you also live in truth as you learn to differentiate truth from your thoughts and see things as they are. Through self-reflection, we will also be better able to accept the self as we gradually stop judging or harming self with negative thoughts. Truth, after all, doesn't judge or make assumptions. This card is an invitation to develop a higher awareness of the self through self-reflection. You can start by keeping a daily journal of your thoughts and feelings. Do your words reflect who you are? Are they aligned with your actions? Can you hear your true self when you speak to others? I like it. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If any parts of this reading resonated for you or gave you clarity or confirmation over your own story, give the video a thumbs up so we can circulate into the algorithm. If you made it here this far, I am going to do a giveaway, and I'm going to leave the window very, very short because I have a feeling that we're going to hit, I feel like we're going to hit 11,000 before this weekend is out, okay? Right now, we're at 10,941. I love you guys. All right, so in the comments, hashtag road to 1200, because child, we're going to be there in a minute. So hashtag road to 1200 in the comments, not the live feed, but not the live comments, in the video comments, because that's where I count them. Okay. In the comments of the video, hashtag road to 11K. Right. I'm going to leave the window open for this running until 11:59 Sunday night, the 23rd, when Mars stations direct. So you have until from now until Sunday. Hashtag road to, what did I say? Oh my God, I just forgot that fast. My brain just went. Road to 12K. Yeah, road to 12K. Hashtag road to 12K. I'll leave it open until 11:59 February the 23rd. Pacific Standard Time. And then I will announce on Monday morning, the 24th. Okay. So good luck, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Again, for those of you who are new to my channel, my readings tend to reach out into the future just a little bit. So if you go back into my archives, maybe 6 to 8 months, you may find some titles back there that resonate more for you now in the present. Continue to support each other. Thank you guys so much for supporting my work. Continue to support each other in these comments, though, because child, I know, like I said, these stories are nuts. Folks are crazy, but these stories are nuts. And I know that, you know, sometimes when we try to talk to our friends, other friends, about some of the shit that we go through, folks think we're crazy. So, and that's okay, because I'm a little cuckoo. No big deal. I don't care. No shame in my game. All right. Anywho, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Until next time, guys, I love you guys so much. Take care.